什么？子弹弹开了。
西门吹雪。
对不起，主人，来晚，让您受惊了。
Number 10. To Beyond Ying Xian Leaf. Following the first season's gag action theme, the second season, titled To Be Heroine, features an original story and a new set of characters. Yu is about to leave home when she suddenly enters an incredible world. Appearing in front of her is an 8-year-old naked boy, and before she could even grasp the situation, she's attacked by assassins from a mafia group who were chasing the young boy. What was even more unrealistic for Yu was that the leader of this mafia was another assassin's attack. Who are those naked kids? Why did her shoe turn into a warrior? And above all, what kind of world did 8-year-old boy come from? Just like the first one, he's also almost naked. While trying to escape from the attackers, Yu loses one of her shoes, and by a strange kind of magic, her shoe turned into a warrior who was able to save her by blocking the Yu enter. Number 9. Jormungand. Brought up in a conflict-ridden environment, child soldier Jonathan Jonah Marr hates weapons and those who deal them. But when Koko Hekamadir, an international arms dealer, takes on Jonah as one of her bodyguards, he has little choice but to take up arms. Along with Koko's other bodyguards, composed mostly of former Special Ops soldiers, Jonah is now tasked with protecting Koko and her overly idealistic goal of world peace from the countless dangers that come from her line of work. Jormungand follows Koko, Jonah, and the rest of the crew as they travel the world selling weapons under the international shipping company HCLI. As Koko's work is illegal under international law, she is forced to constantly sidestep both local and international authorities while doing business with armies, private militaries, and militias. With the CIA always hot on her trail and assassins around every corner, Jonah and her crew must guard Koko and her dream of world peace with their lives or die trying. Number 8. Togainu no Chi. In the wake of a Third World War which left Japan in ruins, an organization known as Fichio seized control of Tokyo and renamed it Toshima. Taking place in its back alleys are battle games known as Igura, overseen by the Vichio, in which contestants battle and bathe in each other's blood to earn the chance to go up against its tournament's king, Il Rei. Igura is not the only fighting tournament around. Blaster is a similar yet vastly different game since it prohibits murder and the use of weapons. The only way to win is by knocking out the opponent. Akira, a young man isolated from his family, is known to be undefeatable at Blaster. However, his life on the top is shattered when he is accused of murder. Unable to prove his own innocence, all hope is seemingly lost. That is, until a mysterious woman named Emma appears and offers him a chance. Now to regain his freedom, Akira must participate in Igura and ultimately defeat Il Rei. Number 7. Fate Zero. With the promise of granting any wish, the omnipotent Holy Grail triggered 3 wars in the past, each too cruel and fierce to leave a victor. In spite of that, the wealthy Iceburn family is confident that the 4th Holy Grail War will be different, namely with the vessel of the Holy Grail now in their grasp. Solely for this reason, the much-hated Magus killer Kiritsugu Emiya is hired by the Eisenburns, with marriage to their only daughter Iris Vale as binding contract. Kiritsugu now stands at the center of a cutthroat game of survival, facing off against 6 other participants, each armed with an ancient familiar and fueled by unique desires and ideals. Accompanied by his own familiar, Saber, the notorious mercenary soon finds his greatest opponent in Kirei Kotomine, a priest who seeks salvation from the emptiness within himself in pursuit of Kiritsugu. Based on the light novel written by Gen Urobuchi, Fate Zero depicts the event of the 4th Holy Grail War, 10 years prior to Fate Stay Night. Witness a battle royale in which no one is guaranteed to survive. Black Lagoon. Within Thailand is Ronapur, a depraved, crime-ridden city where not even the authorities or churches are untouched by the claws of corruption. A haven for convicts and degenerates alike, the city is notorious for being the center of illegal activities and operations, often fueled by local crime syndicates. Enter Rokuro Okajima, an average Japanese businessman who has been living a dull and monotonous life, when he finally gets his chance for a change of pace with a delivery trip to Southeast Asia. His business trip swiftly goes downhill as Rokuro is captured by a mercenary group operating in Ronapur called Black Lagoon. The group plans to use him as a bargaining chip in negotiations, which ultimately failed. Now abandoned and betrayed by his former employer, Rokuro decides to join Black Lagoon. In order to survive, he must quickly adapt to his new environment and prepare himself for the bloodshed and tribulation to come. A non-stop high-octane thriller, Black Lagoon delves into the depths of human morality and virtue. Witness Rokuro struggling to keep his values and philosophies intact as he slowly transforms from businessman to ruthless mercenary. Darker than black, Kuro no Keiyakusha. It has been 10 years since Heaven's Gate appeared in South America and Hell's Gate appeared in Japan, veiling the once familiar night sky with an oppressive skyscape. Their purposes unknown, these gates are spaces in which the very laws of physics are ignored. With the appearance of the gates emerged contractors, who in exchange for their humanity are granted supernatural abilities. In the Japanese city surrounding Hell's Gate, Section 4 Chief Misaki Kirihara finds herself at odds with an infamous contractor codenamed Hei. Called Black Reaper in the underground world, Hei, like his associates, undertakes missions for the mysterious and ruthless syndicate while slowly peeling back the dark layers covering a nefarious plot that threatens the very existence of contractors. From the mind of Tensei Okumura comes a sci-fi thriller taking the form of a subtle expose on a war in which political positions and justice have no sway. A war waged exclusively in the shadows. Nope. Bakano. During the early 1930s in Chicago, the transcontinental train Flying Pussyfoot is starting its legendary journey that will leave a trail of blood all over the country. At the same time in New York, the ambitious scientist Sillard and his unwilling aide Ennis are looking for missing bottles of the immortality elixir. In addition, a war between the mafia groups is getting worse. On board the Advena Ennis in 1711, alchemists are about to learn the price of immortality. Based on the award-winning light novels of the same name, Bakano follows several events that initially seem unrelated, both in time and place, but are part of a much bigger story, one of alchemy, survival, and immortality. Merging these events together are the kind-hearted would-be thieves Isaac and Miria, connecting various people, all of them with their own hidden ambitions and agendas, and creating lifelong bonds and consequences for everyone involved. psychopaths. Justice and the enforcement of it has changed. In the 22nd century, Japan forces the Sybil system, an objective means of determining the threat level of each citizen by examining their mental state for signs of criminal intent, known as their psychopaths. Inspectors uphold the law by subjugating, often with lethal force, anyone harboring the slightest ill will. Alongside them are enforcers, jaded inspectors that have become latent criminals, granted relative freedom in exchange for carrying out the inspector's dirty work. Into this world steps Akane Tsunemori, a young woman with an honest desire to uphold justice. However, as she works alongside veteran enforcer Shinya Kogami, she soon learns that the Sybil system's judgments are not as perfect as her fellow inspectors assume. With everything she has known turned on its head, Akane wrestles with the question of what justice truly is and whether it can be upheld through the use of a system that may already be corrupt.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution.
Kenpu Denki Berserk. Born from the corpse of his mother, a young mercenary known only as Guts embraces the battlefield as his only means of survival. Day in and day out, putting his life on the line just to make enough to get by, he moves from one bloodshed to the next. After a run-in with the Band of the Hawk, a formidable group of mercenaries, Guts is recruited by their charismatic leader Griffith, nicknamed the White Hawk. As he quickly climbs the ranks in order to become the head of the offensive faction, Guts proves to be a mighty addition to Griffith's force, taking Midland by storm. However, while the band's quest for recognition continues, Guts slowly realizes that the world is not as black and white as he once assumed. Set in the medieval era, Kenpu Denki Berserk is a dark, gritty tale that follows one man's struggle to find his own path, while supporting another's lust for power, and the unimaginable tragedy that begins to turn the wheels of fate.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Codebreaker. Riding the bus one day, Sakura Koji Sakura looks out the window to see people being burned alive with a blue fire and a boy her age who's unharmed and standing over the people. She comes back to the site the next day and there are no corpses or evidence of any kind of murder, just a small fire. She then goes to class to find there's a new transfer student, Ogami Rei, who looks exactly like the boy she saw before and wears a black glove only on his left hand.
Alright everyone, that's it for today's video. Did you guys enjoy this list? Or find any anime you're interested in? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're new, remember to turn on notifications for more upcoming top 10 videos.